You know, some people like to beat their meat. But anyway, this is my guy, Alpha Priest 01. Mm-hmm. This is your first time seeing him in HD. Say what's up to the people. Introduce yourself.
Hey everyone. How's everything going? Okay.
You gonna give me a better intro than that? I rode on the train for 2 hours with the goddamn terrorist backpack on my back. You gonna give a better intro than that?
No. All that commuting, I'm gonna give you that.
I hurt my back. My back hurts right now. And like, I'm really serious.
I know.
When I go back home, I'm not paying $275. I'm gonna either hop the turnstile or wait for somebody to open the door. That's how bad it is. Anyway, so explain what, and long story short, we couldn't get any capture footage to work on his computer, so sadly we're gonna have to use like this regular camera because his computer is a Surface Pro and there's no HDMI out. For those of you a little bit more technical, so yeah. Anyway, tell us a little bit about your. It's in the very, very early alpha stages anyway. So, Alpha Priest.
Okay.
But anyway, tell us about your vision and your idea for the game. First, let's start off with what the title of the game is.
Well, I'm thinking of changing it, but the name of it is called War of the Shapes.
War of the Shapes. All right.
Yeah. So basically, it's just you, the player, has to choose these factions of three-dimensional shapes.
You look a little bit lost right now, so let me help. Let's start with this. Okay. What type of game is it gonna be?
First-person shooter, and strategy and combat.
Alright, so when you say first-person shooter, strategy, and combat,
yeah,
you mean like more in like a Halo sense or in like a Crackdown sense? Where like Halo is like it's just straight gun combat, not in terms of story.
Yeah.
Where in Halo is just straight gun combat versus in Crackdown you could stop using a gun and use your fists as well. So you mean more Crackdown style or more Halo style in terms of combat?
More Halo style.
Okay.
So what I mean by strategy is, in terms of the guns, like what guns do you use to fight your way through each level?
Well, I mean, you can't really classify that as strategy, because then in that case, you could classify Call of Duty as a strategy game, and we know that's not a strategy game. Camping ain't a strategy.
Not hacking.
Oh yeah, hacking is a strategy. If you consider hacking, then the PC version of Call of Duty is a strategy game. Alright, so what is your inspiration for the game? Like, what, not in terms of what like made you say yes, I want to make games, but like what idea, like what I'm trying to say is what idea made you say this is the idea of a game that's going to get made? Like what sparked your interest to make this idea? That's what I'm trying to think. That's what I was trying to say.
Well, that's a good question. But I feel I haven't really deeply thought about this. But I want to really make a game. I just want to make my first game. And this is actually my first game. This is going to be my first 3D game.
Yeah, that's why I'm documenting it. Oh, you've made a 3D game before?
No, never.
Most games I made was on Cartoon Network.
I have made projects, but... Oh, sorry, you were saying?
No, most games I made was like the Ben 10 levels on Cartoon Network Online. Oh. That's it.
Well, making games, you remember the Ben, not Ben 10, or Ben,
Nigga, what other Ben you know? I know Ben 10.
Well, the series that he's a teenager. So.
Alien Force, that's still Ben 10.
Well, I don't.
They're all Ben 10. Alien Force or Ultimate Alien Force or Omniverse, because he's a teen in all three of those.
I forgot which one. Is it Alien Force? What was it?
Wait, how did this even come up?
Oh.
Well, but back to what you were saying. No, continue.
Oh, okay. Okay, so going. What inspired me? That's a good question.
Yeah.
I really want to make a game. I truly want to make my game, and this is gonna be my first game that I'm gonna make. But this I'm good. But I don't know. I just don't. I have to be for. I don't know what inspired me to make this game. But I just
Want to make it.
yes.
Yeah. Alright, so with the War of the Shapes thing,
Yeah.
you said there's no story, right?
No story.
So it's just gonna be completely gameplay focused.
Yeah.
So is that out of you don't know how to make up a story, or just you like I legit just don't want it to be a story because there's no reason to have a story? Oh Jesus.
Well, if the possibility, if a lot of people, or not in terms if thousands, tens of thousands of people were to play this, and people want the game to continue, probably.
So like you're saying if it was demanded, like if people said we need a story, you would add a story then at that point?
Well, yeah, something like that, because I was thinking about okay, if we were to make this game, finish this project, and then tens of thousands or tens of thousands of people were constantly playing it, and they were messaging me and telling me we want the game to continue.
Right.
Then probably add a story, or not just a story, but add more features, add more guns, add more levels.
Yeah. Also, another thing, you have a Twitter?
No.
You need a Twitter. Like, even if it's not like a personal Twitter, if it's just a Twitter for the game, a Twitter is very good for that, because a lot of people, when they like to talk to their game devs, Instagram isn't really good for that, because Instagram is more pictures, showing stuff. Instagram is better for promotion, but Twitter is better for when people want to reach out to their devs and things like that. So, first, let me ask another question. I should have asked this earlier, but whatever, I'm going off the head. What is the name of your company? Like, what is going to be the name of your brand?
I haven't really, there's no company, so I don't have.
No, even if it's just you, that's still a company.
Well,
so
the company is me, so.
That's going to be the name of the company, me?
No.
Well, I was going to say, Nintendo might come at you,
No.
because you know they love to do that. I'm not even in a camera frame.
Wolf Moon.
Wolf Moon.
Yeah.
Boom, there it is, Wolf Moon.
Yeah.
So, you mentioned earlier that you're gonna have to choose between 3 different factions for the shape.
Actually, it's four. But you only pick one faction against other 3.
The door is trying to be opened. Terrorism on door.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't know how to do this.
Oh.
What?
I don't know how to play this
He's
game.
in your profile.
What? Profile of the game. It's like Xbox. We talk about this? You talking about this green game?
No, I want this game.
Oh, you want that one? Alright.
Can't understand this. I was back to play here because this understanding game makes me mad.
I tried.
How
Alright.
you do this?
I forgot where I was even at.
How you do this?
Okay.
How?
Oh, I was telling you about reaching. Yeah, you should create a. I think I was saying you should create a Twitter so that people can reach out to you.
Items.
Oh, you're trying to get to the game?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Is it loud? Is the volume loud or something?
No, volume's off. I don't play with the volume.
Oh.
I don't even listen to sound when I play video games. So that's another thing that's important. Like, one thing you want to make sure you do with sound in your game is make sure you try to capture people.
That's strange. I never heard that
Right.
before.
Then you pick your stage, like where you want to go.
I never heard a gamer not hearing sounds. Okay.
So, like I was saying, I don't even remember what I was
Twitter. We were talking. You mentioned my game of company and factions.
Oh yeah, factions, the 4 factions.
So
Even though you're not gonna have story, so you're gonna have a background but not a story. Basically,
Yeah.
is what you're saying.
yeah.
All right, so explain the background to me. Like, set the scene for me. Act as if I've never played game.
Character, that guy.
That's actually a girl character. She's just wearing a suit. I'm talking about Samus, for those of y'all wondering.
Mm.
But anyway,
What's the you were saying?
oh, I was saying, give us a bit of the background in the story. If he interrupts again, just keep explaining.
So if you were
Alright, don't collect your thoughts.
think visualize that you're in the first level of the game and then you
I
start
haven't
from
played the first level of the game.
well, I
Yeah,
said
the
visualize.
idea is you're supposed to give us the backdrop before any of the events in the game. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Like, what happened there
What happened there?
to cause the events in the game to happen?
Okay, now that sounds like a story.
That's not a story. That's a backdrop.
Mm.
Like, for example, in CSGO, the backdrop of CSGO is that let me use a better team. Not Call of Duty. Jesus, I'm just calling out game names now. Let me call out a few more game names. Like, why not? Skylanders. But like
Skylander.
in CSGO, Overwatch, for example, how one team is trying to take whatever they're trying to protect and get it to the other side, or they're trying to protect the base from people getting in. Like, you see how Overwatch has a backdrop and you know what happened before the game? I mean, of course they expanded the story through cutscenes and stuff like that, but you know why you're doing what you know why you're moving the payload, why Overwatch is called Overwatch, you know who's in Overwatch, who's against Overwatch, why you know about the Omnic crisis. Like, you can understand why is person A shooting at person B. That's what I mean by backdrop. Stuff that happened before the game to cause the game to happen. So, explain that.
Well, all these factions are because they're different three-dimensional shapes. So obviously, so there's to say this racial battle
Okay.
against each of these factions, and then when you pick one faction, you're gonna be in this small area with your NPCs, with your allied bots. So yeah, and then what you have to do is you have to take back each tower or defense, and as you take over each defense, you then you repeat the same thing on each level, but after that you defeat
so you press
the
this
boss
to
of
start
that
the match.
faction.
What?
You press the plus to start the match.
So
yeah. Another thing, in terms of gameplay, is it going to be single player or multiplayer?
single player.
How are you going to make a single player game with no story?
There is no going to be still story.
But if it's going to be a single player game with no story, that kind of makes the game feel empty, I feel like. So maybe that's one thing you should keep in consideration.
I wasn't expecting it to be like multiplayer. That's why I know. You're just you yourself and your NPCs. You have to fight your way through.
Sounds like a story game. So, if you want to truly keep it a game with no story, like how Overwatch is a game with no story mode at all. If you want the story for Overwatch, you have to search it up. Then I feel like it would be more difficult to make it a single player game with no story, especially it being your first game.
Mm-hmm.
That means it's not going to get as much attention as if, let's say, Blizzard or EA attach their name to this. Like, you get what I'm getting at?
Kind of close, yeah. But I understand, like, yeah. Since, yeah, because it kind of makes some sense when you say it. I don't know, because to me, it's because this is my actually first game, because I was expecting it to be a multiplayer. I was expecting it to only be just the player, fire your way through each level, but since
Wow, this guy's cool.
it's kind of like you said, a story.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know what's actually happening. you pick one faction, you have to fight the other 3. And you have to fight your way through each of them, and then fight the bosses of each faction.
Yeah, because like I said, at the same time, you don't want your player to be confused. Like, your player should understand what's going on and why. Like, that's all I'm trying to get across. So maybe you could even do rendered cutscenes. Maybe you could do like a website where it's just the lore sitting there. Maybe you can incorporate the lore being on a separate website into the game somehow. And make it like, I don't know, they are fighting over finding out their history or something. Like, there's different things you can do with that avenues. Like, that's just an idea. There's many other ways you can go about it. I'm just saying. Now, you say you haven't gotten to any of the sound design or sound implementation in the game. Let me see something. Oh, that works. You haven't gotten into any of the sound design and or implementation of the game, so
the camera,
can you kind of not the camera?
Well,
can you kind of give me an idea of where you want to go with the sounds in this game? Like, what kind of vision are you going for? Are you going for more of a clickbaity pop music, like just generic stock pop music? Do you want to do rap music, rock music? Like, what is your general idea in terms of, and it's not just limited to music, I'm just using that as an example, like in terms of sound design, do you want it to be the forefront, the back front, the side front? I don't know.
Well, I really haven't really think about that. But the sounds that you mentioned about hip hop or other types of genres, but I think like more combat.
So more like rock.
Actually, like
pop,
from like
basically.
the songs from the sounds from World War II Call of Duty.
I haven't played World War II Call of Duty.
Oh,
I'm an actual millennial.
okay.
I played everything from Modern Warfare up.
Okay.
Hey, let's not talk about Ghost of Modern Warfare, the remake. But anyway, back to what you were saying.
Oh yeah. So more, the song would be more combat.
So yeah, like I said, rock pop.
I don't know if that's the right way.
Yeah, that's what the music in Mortal Kombat. After you get past the video game title, because music that's in a video game, that's the first thing people call it, video game music, because it's different or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get past that, it's basically rock pop. Like, they even play that thing in, have you ever been to a Knicks game? Every Knicks game, they play the Mortal Kombat theme. Yep.
The like classic one.
Yeah, and then every Knicks game. Every Knicks game. Like, if you watch the Jumbotron footage, like, from the people, like, hacking it and leaking it and stuff, that's what you're gonna see. So, in terms of visual style, describe what direction you want to go in with your visual style.
I mean the graphics, to say. Graphics,
no, not graphics, visual style.
Visual.
Graphics is it 1080p, is it 60 FPS? You ain't gotta necessarily worry about that right now.
Okay.
Right now you gotta worry about, like, see how this Halo poster looks different from that picture on the wall? Mm-hmm. I'ma like show y'all. Like that Halo poster in the middle, and I'll put an icon pointing to the picture I pointed to, the one with the pink thing in the middle. But I was saying, see how they look different? See how that one's more basic, it's cartoony, it's abstract. The picture lets you guess what it is. Versus this Halo poster, you know it's a Mr. Army Man trying to blow up stuff. Like, you know exactly what it is realistic, realism, versus that picture right there, where it's minimalist. It's just, we're telling you what's going on through the art, but we're not going to take a whole lot of effort to do it. Not even effort, we're not going to put a whole lot of detail into it. We put enough detail so you know, okay, this is what's going on, but nothing else. Just so you know what's going on. So, in terms of art style, like, what direction do you want to go?
I wouldn't say realism.
Okay.
So, something like Battlefield.
So more like cartoony?
Not cartoony. Something like from Half-Life. It's like a Half-Life feel.
Well, Half-Life is more towards realism, though.
Yeah, but you see, kind of compare or contrast to Half-Life and Battlefield.
Like a mix in between there.
It's not kind of a mix. You can tell the difference in terms like how you move the character. Like, I don't know. If you have you played Battlefield?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Battlefield.
Yeah, but you can. But when you're like moving and running, you can see the difference. Like the camera's moving and you're shooting, like, but and compare that to Half-Life, it's so.
So you're saying that's how the shooting is gonna work?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about in terms of like visually what you're gonna see. Like what's gonna be the style of it. Like, let me compare Last of Us to let's say Halo. The art style for Halo is more outer space, glowy things. Like, for lack of a better explanation, it's just everything glows and it's out of space and alien. Whoa, dude. Versus The Last of Us is more like a post-apocalyptic Earth. Like, everything's dying and decaying, like stuff like that. And The Last of Us is a story-focused game, so that the way that the scenery looks adds to the story. Same thing with Halo. So through visual elements, you're basically explaining to somebody everything looks like this is what's going on, and this is why everything looks like this. Like, people should be able to look at a scene from your game and tell what's going on. Again, going back to this Halo poster, I could look at, if I didn't know nothing about Halo, I could look at this poster and say, okay, this game has guns in it, so that means I'm going to be shooting people. Shooting people? Who's allowed to shoot people and wear armor? Army people. And he don't look like no regular army man I'm used to seeing, so he must be some kind of outer space person. Like, that's what visual style should do. It should if somebody take a poster or a random screenshot from your game, it should communicate what your game is about. It should tell people what direction your game is going to go in. Not in terms of story, but in terms of what it's about. Because as you mentioned, you're trying to put a heavy de-emphasis on story.
So, in terms of visual, you say visual.
Mm-hmm.
Visual.
Like, when I say visual, I mean everything you can see. So, when somebody gets shot, the animation of them getting shot, for example. Right, and different things like that.
Okay. Well, since these three-dimensional shades don't have they don't have arms, they don't have legs, they don't have a head.
So how are they shooting?
Well, they have their.
Okay.
Well, it's kind of it's just they're holding the gun, but not actually you don't see their arm, so.
So it's just floating guns?
No, it's not floating guns. It's attached to their body.
Okay.
Yeah. And as you when you kill them, they disintegrate.
Alright.
Yeah.
So just basic stuff,
Yeah, it's like very basic. It's not like it's just very basic. It's not too complex.
Alright. So our style is hyperrealism, but not really, from what I'm understanding. So, you know what? You using this notebook for anything?
Yeah, it's for what are you doing for?
No, because you need a notebook or something, like just something or somewhere tangible that you can put your thoughts down in. Because you gotta collect your thoughts a bit more, so you can see where you're going with this game. Because right now it seems like you have an idea for a game, but that's it. It's just an idea. It's just like, oh yeah, this would work, but you haven't really. Alright, let me put it like this. You have a you have a bone from a skeleton. You have the top of the spine in the skeleton. I forgot what that bone is called. But the top bone in the spine, you have that. but you don't have the rest of the skeleton. You don't have the organs. You don't have the meat. You don't have the flesh. You just have that one bone. So you know you want to make a body, and you have one bone to make that body. You just don't have the rest of the body. And then you gotta put the soul in to make it come to life. Like different things like that, nuances and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know, because I'm so used to like looking at the game, trying to design it. It kind of look.
Yeah, because you gotta learn to be able to look at games from a designer point of view. Because with music, like when I started doing music, I had to learn to stop looking at music like, for lack of better words, I don't want to seem high and mighty, but like a regular person would. Because somebody who doesn't do music might hear a song and think, oh yeah, boom boom clap, that song sounds good. But I may hear a song and go, you know, whoever did the mixing on this beat didn't do it well, because the bass sounds muddy, the hi-hats are distorted, the melody in the background is literally just 3 different notes at different octaves. Like, I started noticing stuff like that, and somebody who isn't musically literate on a basic level will look at me and go, bro, just shut up and enjoy the song. The song is fire. Boom, boom, clap. So you gotta learn to look at it from another point of view.
Well, because I'm trying to look at it like a game dev, game designer point of view, not a little bit more of a gamer. Because a gamer, when you're playing the game, yeah, you can you look at the mechanics and how like NPC or you, the player, is working, but still like how the game is actually works. Like there's codes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that are happening. So.
Yeah, because honestly speaking, coding really doesn't matter. Like, yeah, you do have to code, but it's less about doing the actual coding, and it's more about what the coding does.
But that was one of the few things I meant to mention. But there's more.
Oh, right there.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things in the bunch of code. There's more.
Yeah, because like I said, if you talk to a regular gamer and talk to them about coding, they're going to look at you like you crazy. Like, man, I coded this into the game. They're going to look at you like, okay, cool, I don't care. Can I play game? Like, if you just give them lines of code, they're going to look at you like you crazy. Like,
well, not just lines of code, like how the game or how the art style
that's what
works.
I mean by the game is just raw to the point to where it's basically just lines of code. Then, like I said, they're going to look at you funny. It's easier. Getting people to test your game ain't hard.
Well,
I'm telling you. Because, like, literally, there are people who are gamers. Hey, I have a game. What do you mean? Like, you have a game on your Switch? No, like, I'm a young game developer, and I'm developing my own game. And I would like you to test it out and tell me what you think of it. Like, it's not hard to find people that are willing to do that. First off, let's take a second to think about this. This man has no paper towels.
Yeah,
I have to use boo-boo wiper tissue.
Okay. No, he just talks about everything. Talks about everything useless for no reason.
It's better than no tissue, but still.
Whatever.
But what was I talking about? No, oh yeah, I was saying it's easy to get people to test your game. But yeah, so we should be more worried about what those lines of code turn into, and your art style. Cause sound design that could come later on down the line. Cause I know plenty of games with all AAA games with sound design that just makes me go, yo. Were they trying when they were in the studio making these sound effects? Like, when they were making these sound effects, did they just fall asleep on the keyboard and then press export, attach it to compress it so that they could attach it to an email and just send it off? Oh my god. Ugh. Like, it's just, that could come last. But thing is, we gotta worry about the gameplay. Because there are people who won't mind sitting down and playing your game. Your game could be the most awful design ever, like Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. But if the gameplay is fun and people want to play the game, they're gonna play the game. Even if, like I said, your game is terrible, as long as it entertains. Because at the end of the day, something all gamers can agree on is the purpose of a game is to entertain me. Like, if a game is no fun, do you want to play it? No. Well, unless you're getting paid to play it. But then, again, the purpose is to have fun. You're not really having fun. If you, like, I'll put it like this. Make it so that people don't have to force themselves to play the game. And also, not everybody's going to like a game the first time they play it or the first time they try it. So be ready with that. Because not everybody is able to articulate themselves like me. So some people are just going to be like, take this controller back before I smack you with it. What is this garbage? That's how some people are going to break it down to you. Because like I said, not everybody's aware or knows how to articulate themselves well. So be prepared for a lot of people telling you your game is terrible. And not explaining. I know it irks you because it definitely does irk me. But that's just how some people are.
Yeah.
So,
well, yeah.
So here's a framework of your game that I'm getting.
Okay.
I'm going to be a shape, and I'm going to be shooting at other shapes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. But again, you need to break it down into more specific subcategories. Wait, hold on. Let me throw this out. Wait. Let me throw this out. Your trash can?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Alright, but yeah, like I was saying, like, I'm a shape shooting at other shapes. Like, yeah, that's an idea, but again, you gotta make it so that it'll entertain somebody. Because it ain't gotta entertain everybody. Because Fortnite is the most popular game out there. And it's not hard to go on the street and go, hey, are you one of those people that don't enjoy Fortnite? Yeah, that's not gonna be a hard thing to hear. But Fortnite is the biggest battle royale out right now, or the second biggest, whatever. It's no doubt, whether you like it or not, everybody can say, if I say this statement, Fortnite is one of the top 5 most played games right now. No, literally nobody who actually knows what Fortnite is gonna go, who plays Fortnite? Like, unless they're like me, because I'm Captain Slander. But that's something different. Like, nobody can actually say, in actuality, nobody plays Fortnite, because there are tons of people who play Fortnite. So, you're not going to entertain everybody, but at the same time, make it so that you can... No, wait, hold up, let me finish. Okay. Make it so that you can entertain somebody. Because, again, going back to music, you may hear a song and go, wow, this is the best song I ever heard. I might hear that song and say, wow, did they make this song after hearing themselves fart or something? Because it's just doo-doo. Like, different opinions on different things. So as long as you can have somebody play the game and go, you know what, I actually don't mind playing the game that much. Because, again, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the game, it controls well, it's nice, it's fun, whatever. At the end of the day, the game is just unrealistically broken to the point of sometimes you just sit there and go, yo, who designed this? But guess what? People are still willing to play the game because it entertains. Like, EA. Oh, God, EA. Playing EA games faithfully is like staying in an abusive relationship you can leave on purpose. Like, EA is just hammering down microtransactions into your throat. Like, they are literally standing over you trying to shove a hammer down your throat. And you just sit there and say, you know what, I could literally just push them off and walk out the door, but I'm going to stand here and let them keep shoving the hammer down my throat so that I can play game. And, again, even though I said all that stuff, there are people out there sitting there like, oh, man, here the EA slander go again. Then they're going to go play their microtransaction game. When you're done with the game, just press A. Okay? But out there, like, microtransactioning it up. And it's just like, what can you do? Like, there are some people that will just take that attitude. What can you do? It's still a good game. But it's just microtransactions. Like, I'll give you an example. Modern Warfare 3. Remind me to show you afterward. Well, I'll send you a link because your little brother's in here. He has cursing in it. But remind me to send you the link. But like there was this guy. He was trying to set up Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And more or less, he had to go in his settings for his computer to fix it, and he was streaming it. So it shut off his stream, his computer. He had to go in the back of his computer, cut it off, and cut it back on, just to play the game. And Call of Duty Modern Warfare doesn't have low player rates. Like their player rates are normal. There are people on purpose, paying $60 for Modern Warfare. And I don't get it. I never spend my own money on a Call of Duty game. Never. I never will.
Okay.
Never.
Never?
No, never.
Why?
Never have and never will. Because
Not
it's Call of Duty.
Not in the Call of Duty Modern Warfare series?
Never.
No. Black Ops?
Never. I have most of those Call of Duty games I have in my house because my uncle buys Call of Duty every single year. From Modern Warfare all the way up. The only Call of Duty he missed was Ghost, and he said he's skipping out on Modern Warfare, which I don't blame him. Like when I saw the video I was like, nah, because the game Modern Warfare is literally messing up people's consoles and PCs. Like that game is literally forcing your PC to shut down. It's blowing PCs up. Like it's not looking good out here. It's not looking good out here.
I know.
Yeah, it's literally when I say blow your PC up, I'm just saying it like makes your PC shut down, not as in it's actually blowing your computer out. And like just for reference, and still like
that should be called Call of Shutdown.
Call of blue screen. Like people literally had to unplug their computers. Like it's just awful. But despite the fact that I said all that, he didn't play the game because he's one of those people that will vote with their wallet and that will speak up. But there are people still out there like, you know what? I basically had to break my computer to play this game just to get camped out. I'm going to break my computer just to get camped out for an hour and change. And one thing you also got to keep in mind is people really don't like it. Like there are some, like I said, there are people who religiously play every EA game and, like I said, will sit there and let EA shove hammer down their throat so they can play a game. Yay. But at the same time, they can always just get up and not vote with their wallet and get up and not do it. So you gotta keep in mind that you know why EA can deal with that? Because they're EA. You go to a random person on the street, EA, get in the game. And or you just go up to them and say EA, get, and they'll just say in the game. Because EA is recognizable. You're just starting off, so you're creating a brand. You're not recognizable yet.
I don't recognize their brand, so.
You're an idiot.
No.
But you want your brand to be recognizable to the point to where, like I said, I could go up to any person on the street, be like EA, get, and they'll just say in the game. Or I could be like, hey, finish this slogan, EA, and they'll just say get in the game. I say get in the game like 100 times, so I'm going to just get myself in the game. Hey! Alright. But still. Yeah, but...
Any other concern or questions? Well, actually, questions.
Yeah, not really more concerns, but there's a question, like, for the game. Mm-hmm. Like I said, you need to map out everything that you need. So, like, for artwork, like, what do you need the scenery to look like? What do you need the stages to look like? Enemies, UI, like, you need to map out everything you need to get designed and everything you need, and then go down the list from least hardest to hardest. Thank you.
Bless me.
I like how I had to say thank you for him to remember to say bless you. But anyway, like, you need to map out everything that needs to be done, or prioritize it, list it, and see what is the hardest and the easiest thing to do, then just go down the list. Because like I said, in terms of the sound design stuff, just like make a list of what sounds you need, like how many of those, like things like that, and we could always collaborate on that. So sound design, just know what you want and like what your vision is. Like that's what I'm trying to say with everything, but again, I'm using sound as an example because But just know what direction you like when you walk down the street to go to the store. You know what direction you're gonna go in depending on what store you want to go to.
Yeah.
You know, if I want to go to Chinese food store, I go this way. If I want to go to grocery store, I go this way. Same thing with the game. Know which way you're walking to get to what store, which is know what path you're going to get to the end game, which is having a finished and completed game. Just know what you're doing. And that's what I'm saying. You need a notebook or something where you can put down your ideas and list different things that you need to get done. Cause right now you're in the like I said, you're in the I have a bone. I want to make a body, but I need the rest of the bones. I have one singular bone.
Well, this is the concept behind.
Okay, let me see. Let me see the concept. Let me see. Just let me see.
Well, that's the codes. And most of
Fireball, sharp lasers.
yeah.
In order to make game. Oh yeah, you gotta learn how to make game first.
Yeah.
But again,
So
coding. I'm not gonna say coding isn't hard because coding is hard, but you gotta know what you're coding in order to get. Like, you gotta know what you're going for. Which again goes back to like I said, like figure out like before you even start coding, you gotta figure out what you want. Cause like I said, you know what your idea is, you just don't know where you're going with your idea. Well, you know where you wanna go, but you don't know how to get there. You're just like, okay, I'm here and I wanna be over there. But how do I get there though? Like that's where you're at. You're at the but how do I get there though? So you got to figure out your way to get from point A, which is you have a pre-alpha because I forgot it's like 7 stages of a game. It's the idea phase. Yeah, idea phase. The pre-alpha. Alpha is where you got Jesus. You just ripping up that paper.
Focus, man.
You got the idea phase, the pre-alpha. Oh my god. OCD powers activate. But you have the oh my god.
Focus. Oh my god.
That's gonna go on sale later for like $3,000. But you have the idea phase, the pre-alpha. Alpha is when you have the first build of the game to where it's like, okay, this is the game and this is what you're gonna play. This is showing that the game works. When people go to play the game, this is what they're going to play. Alpha is, okay, we're nowhere near done with the game, but we have enough of the game built to where it's playable so somebody could pick up the controller and play the game and understand what's going on at the same time. Then there's the beta. Beta is where, okay, we're satisfied with what we did in the game, but we want other people's input. So we're going to send it to, let's say, streamers or something like that, or make it exclusive, or like you pay to play the beta, and after each match or whatever, you tell us your thoughts and ideas and say, oh, this was broken, this glitch happened here, and this is what happened. Like, they report whatever happened to you. Then after beta, it's demo. Yeah, so idea phase, pre-alpha, alpha, beta. Then there's stages to beta. There's closed beta, then open beta. I'll count those as 2 different. Closed beta, open beta. Open beta is like where everybody can play, but you don't have to do open beta, but you at least need a closed beta so you can get other people's input. There's demo, which is like, let's say on an E3 show floor or something. It doesn't have to necessarily be an E3 show floor, but demo is just so like people can get a taste of the game before they buy it. Again, this is a phase that could be skipped.
Actually,
not necessarily.
That I was thinking because
Making a demo?
Because I was watching a video of this game dev,
Yeah.
indie game developer, and his advice was to make first do a demo. But the thing is, I'm thinking, should I just fully continue to make an official game or just have a demo? That's what.
I'm not a gaming expert, but
Well,
I think it would be nice to start off with a beta. Because again, you need to have some. First off, you gotta come up with your ideas for what you're going to make, so that you can make a playable alpha then beta, or alpha, pre-alpha, whatever. But a playable beta, because a playable beta is just, again, something like, you know how Overwatch had its beta, where like people could play the game and like see, oh, this is how the game plays. Okay, this game is still in development. The devs are
I
like,
don't know about Overwatch. I know about Destiny's beta. That's right.
well, yeah, Destiny. It's the same idea,
Yeah.
but it's just like, okay, the game is playable. Here, play it, stress it. Let's see what the game's limits are and try and go past that. Cause the beta is like, let's say you draw a picture, right? You draw a picture and you make all the lines, you do all the line work, but you're like, you know what? I want to see what other people think of this line work, because maybe the idea of the drawing is that it's gonna get colorized and go on a shirt, and that people want to buy. And you could draw the most complicated, graphically design ever, and people could look at the shirt and be like, "Ew, what is that?" You could put 2 lines on the shirt. You could put a check on the shirt, and more people will buy the shirt with a check on it, simply because, wow, it's simple and it's more recognizable. Again, it could be reversed. Just because you put a check on a shirt, that don't mean people gonna buy it. That just means you put a check on a shirt. But you could put the most complicated design on a shirt and people might buy it and go, wow, look at this part and this part and this part. So you gotta know your gaming audience
of
too.
that I'm not thinking too big of this, because this first game I'm not.
You gotta know your audience as well.
Well,
So what is your audience?
I need my audience. I need an audience. That's more important.
What is the audience you're going for? You have to have an idea of what audience you're going for. Because like Fortnite is a general audience where it's, if you're a hardcore gamer, there's something here for you. If you're a casual gamer, there's something here for you. Or like, to me, there are 3 categories. Casual,
Okay.
everyone, and then hardcore gamer.
Who's
So
the
like
everyone? What's the everyone?